let's have a look at how best to approach a calculation in GCSE Physics. The first thing I want to do is establish what equation to use. There are a list of equations at the beginning of exam papers that you can look at. I have the mass, I have a temperature change, and I have the specific heat capacities. So I know that that equation is going to be energy equals mass times specific heat capacity times temperature change. Now what I need to do is include these values into my equation. So I have my mass, it's 1.5 kilograms. I have the specific heat capacity of water, it's 4,200. And then I have my temperature change, it's gone from 20 to 100. So 100 take away 20, that's going to be 80. Then I put those numbers into the calculator and I find that my answer is 504,000 joules. 504,000 joules. Now let's have a look at this question. There are a couple of ways that it could be approached. The first, we'll use my favourite method. So let's have a look. We have the mass of copper and we have how much energy is being used to heat it, and then we look for the specific heat capacity. So again, we know that the equation is going to be energy equals mass times specific heat capacity times temperature change. But in this case, we're looking for the temperature rise. I'm going to enter in my values. So I have energy, so I'll put the energy here, 9360, and that's going to be equal to the mass, 1.2, times the specific heat capacity, which, let's have a look, that is 390, times the temperature change, a value I don't know. I'm going to call it delta for change and capital T. Now I'm going to start to simplify. Use my calculator and I'll find out that 1.2 times 390 is 468. That needs to still be multiplied by the change in temperature, delta T. Then I can work out delta T because I can divide both sides by 468. That is going to give me a value. That value happens to be 20 degrees C. That's one method. In the next method, I could use a formula triangle, but first I'll need to put this equation into such a formula triangle. Well, energy is on its own and all the rest are multiplied. So I put energy at the top of the triangle, and then the others will go underneath. So I'll have mass, and then specific heat capacity, and then temperature change. There's my triangle. Now in this question I'm looking for temperature, so I cross out my temperature with my thumb, really, and I find that temperature, change in temperature rise, is equal to energy divided by mass times specific heat capacity. Then I can put my numbers into there. 9360 divided by 1.2 times 390. Put those numbers into the calculator and once again find that my answer is 20 degrees C. You can do this any way you prefer. The main thing is to write down the equation, because you can get a mark just for knowing which numbers go in which part of the equation. Good luck.